I want to hear one of the craziest fucking stories, dude. You got to give us something crazy.
Dig deep into the vault. Come on.
Deep, bro. I need something wild.
Me and Nick and Corey and the Alisana guys drank every bottle on the airplane that they had. So I'm 100% blacked out. And for some reason, me and Nick get into it.
I remember us fighting on that plane. And I think, wasn't their tour manager, Dougie? He was like trying to get us to stop fighting. And he was like in between us. And we were like over the seats, over people. They're like, what the fuck?
There was Alisana and like strangers were sleeping. And I was like climbing over people and shit over their heads with blankets on, like middle of the night in an airplane.
But it was
surprised we didn't get arrested.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the SNS podcast. As usual, I have my man Trevor Swenson with me.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. And this is actually a very special episode. We have a couple good friends of mine. We got Nick Miller and Joey Wilson from A Skylit Drive. What's up, dudes?
What up, man? Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
We should have had him in the studio. I didn't know they live right down the street.
We're not going to say that. We're COVID compliant.
No.
We don't,
6 feet apart in that room.
We're not breaking any rules.
We could have put him in a different room. It would have been fun.
In the kitchen.
Go sit in the bathroom. We're going to do this live.
Exactly.
Fellas, what's going on? What's been new in life? What's are you enjoying your quarantines? What's the side hustle? Give us a rundown. What's happening?
I actually just got over COVID. I was positive 3 weeks ago, and It was the best vacation I ever had from work because I got paid, and it only lasted like 4 days. So
your employer watching should be thankful to hear that.
Oh, yeah. I told them, but they're like, oh, it's state law. I tried to go back because I'd make more at work, but you get paid out by the state. So I was like, fuck it.
I like it.
Just stay home and play video games, get paid for it.
Well, that's good that you were asymptomatic then. That's good. I mean,
yeah, it was
that's
awesome.
the positive version of this. So,
yeah.
What about you, Nick, man? I see you're becoming quite the established producer yourself these days, it looks like.
Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, I've been working my tail off. I've been super lucky, man, to been staying really busy. At first, it was a little slow because the studio I was working out of, we were shut down. And so I started working remote, but I figured out ways to get a lot of work remote, and I can't be more thankful for how it's been for me.
Well, I've been looking too, and I mean, you're full blown producing albums, you're producing, singles, whatever people need. But it seems like you're starting to do it on a big scale. The studio you're at looks amazing. What studio are you at now?
It's called the Press Recording Studio in Stockton. So I do a lot of work out of there, like any live instruments. I track them there. And I built like a home spot, so I have a home studio. So I do a lot of work here too. So I do mostly everything at home now, like all the editing and stuff. But any tracking, live instruments, I do at the studio in Stockton. It's been great.
that's awesome. That's great.
Hell yeah.
Any big projects coming up? Come on, name drop the hell out.
I have all kinds of stuff going on right now. I'm writing for a few people. Nothing. I don't know anything that people would know too much, but I have some really cool stuff going on.
It's cool.
Some exciting projects for sure.
I know.
I won't tell you
some
who
things
it is,
you can't
we'll just say it's cool.
We'll throw
it's good though.
We'll throw some links
stoked.
up on the pod and promote that out. For sure.
I am legit stoked for
and
you.
we're writing we've been writing a lot of music too, Joey and I.
Ooh.
So that's been fun.
Is that a
Yeah, I was
cherry right after
Are we hearing a release?
We'll go
Are we
straight
hearing
into
release? Is that a comeback?
I was like, are you giving us a cherry right away? I like
come
that.
on.
Simon actually already heard a little bit of it. I showed it to him the other day.
It's messed up, man.
That was post-COVID, though. It was
send that over
post-COVID
here?
he came back.
Oh yeah, it was after. I was already negative when I came
he
back.
had several negative
100%.
tests. I told him I wouldn't hang out with him until then. But I do think that's amazing. That's awesome that you guys have kind of been able to segue into the, I think navigating yourself through 2020 and the fucking pandemic and everything going on is not easy in the first place. But the fact that you're able to still create music, still be positive, still be motivated, and somewhat make a career out of it at this point it's a fucking blessing in disguise.
Yeah, man. I'm so grateful. Like I said, just have been staying busy and just working with some really cool people, and everyone's been just really cool, like navigating it with me, trying to figure out how to work remote, and keep the sessions small and try to be safe. And, there's been kind of a lot to it, but it's been great. We've still been making it happen. So it's been cool.
Dude, it's got everyone better at computers. COVID got everyone way more creative who was already creative. I think if you weren't creative, you ended up finding shit you were into, like hobbies. Like I know like my girlfriend didn't have much going on, but now she's like building all this shit and fucking making stuff all the time. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I think with musicians also, it helped out a lot. Like if for me, especially like I do merchants part-time, but I was kind of not really doing anything else. And now I'm just seriously writing music like 10 times more than I was 2 years ago.
That's cool. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
cool.
nice to find your recreative stuff, especially since you can't have an outlet, I guess, with being able to jump on stage and scream it out. So.
Well, and the other thing I was going to think of too, you know, just to circle it back around to actually, you know, A Skylit Drive is I still to this day see you guys, you know, and all the dudes that have been a part of the project, like still sharing, you know, info. There's still people posting that are like, you know, this inspires me. This song inspired me. This is one of my favorite shows. It's kind of mind-blowing, or is it mind-blowing to you guys, you know, when you see somebody sharing a video from like 8 years ago and they're showing you a video that was on their cell phone, you know, they're like, hey, I took this in, you know, Germany, or I took this in New York, and we love you guys.
Yeah,
it's a lot
it
of
is
stuff
to me for sure. Go ahead, Joey. You take it.
I get some shit. Like I don't get on Facebook very often, and I blocked, or not blocked, but I put it where you have to approve when people tag you, because if for a while I was getting tagged in really questionable situations in my life. And so I went back on there and I had a bunch of them, and I approved them all a couple months ago, but it was stuff like, oh, I found this photo from you in Thailand and shit, you know, and that's gotta be like almost 10 years old by now. So that's I think crazy. It is cool that, I don't know. It's just a lot of, it kind of blows my mind still that people will tag me on Instagram. Same with Nick. Like I'll wake up and there'll be like a Wires video or something with all of our names on it. And that always gets me pretty fired up. Makes me want to write more music.
Which I feel like if we're being honest, you know, A Skylit Drive was kind of, you know, it was a pre-Instagram era, you know. I feel like a lot of people have kind of lost track of that, you know. It's like MySpace, you know. There was a time when bands were just fucking titans, and it was on all these different platforms, and Instagram didn't really trickle in until I feel like the latter half of the scene, you know. But I definitely recall a time when, you know, especially because I've known you guys personally since we were all young. It's like there was a time when Skylit was just crushing these massive rooms, you know, and you almost couldn't pull your fucking phone out and take a video. You had to be patient, you know.
Yeah, and dude, back then I don't even think phones had sick video. It was like sidekicks and shit. So you were just on like AIM and taking you couldn't just like automatically post it like you can on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I think it would have been so much fun to be able to like record all that shit and do stories while we were touring that much. I'm kind of bummed that a lot of that social media stuff that's like really popping right now came towards the end of it, you know.
Right, yeah, we didn't have that. That would be fun to be able to document like everything every day.
We all would have been YouTube famous.
Every day was just every day on tour. Something happens, like something wild. Every day, something new. You know.
Fellas, are your balls happy?
Support for Swenson and Bance is brought to you by Manscaped,
the best in men's below-the-waist grooming.
Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
This stuff has some sick features.
The waterproof technology allows you to groom in the shower.
One of the coolest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for closer and more precise trimming.
Let's get that bush and tush clean.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BUYIT at manscaped.com.
Make your testes their bestie.
Your balls and your partner will gladly thank you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, music industry, need software?
Prism FM is the only independent, all-in-one solution that helps buyers, promoters, and venues manage everything they do.
From holds all the way through settlement, this software is all-encompassing.
Let's replace error-prone spreadsheets with a secure, mobile-friendly platform.
Teams can manage more with less, eliminating costly redundancies while improving team communication.
Organizations using Prism will be able to recover faster when shows finally come back to life.
Visit prism.fm for more information.
You and your business will not be disappointed. We guarantee it.
What about the flip side of that, though, is the secrecy aspect? So, like, you guys lived back in the time where it was cool to, like, do some stupid shit and not get caught with it. Now it's like, if you do stupid shit, 30 people have filmed you doing it now, and you got to live with that the rest of your life. Or put it on your OnlyFans account, like Simon.
Honestly, I think there is a lot of pressure for bands now and for artists. Like, you have to be not only just that kind of, you have to be on point like 24/7. You can't mess up. It's going on YouTube.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
Well,
with the
like,
amount
no
of
matter what.
blackouts I had, dude, there's no way I'd be safe. It'd be
well,
fucked up.
Nick,
on
that was
YouTube.
a question I was going to ask you because, ironically, the other day I was just casually chilling and the A Skylit Drive Wires DVD popped up. And it's so funny because now you see so many bands doing these live streams that are so lucrative and going crazy. But I believe you guys did that with Robbie Starbuck, right? Was it him that shot it or was it someone else? But how did that come about? How did the live DVD come out? Because it's almost like written in emo history at this point. You know, it's iconic.
That was Robbie Starbuck, right, Joey?
I'm
The Wires
99%
DVD?
sure it was because we did 5 music videos for that one and 1 interview with Dave Shapiro, right? And 1 live video. Was that what it was?
I remember doing a lot of videos.
It was
A lot
yeah,
of-
it was the
We
whole
did the live
live DVD.
one.
I don't know if those
Glass
were
House.
connected. I can't remember.
They
But
were. And just side note, real quick. Last night, I was talking to my brother-in-law Tino from A Mice, and he was telling me they didn't want to play live shows really because it's like the crowd aspect, like kids can't mosh and have fun, so it's just kind of weird. And it's like a DVD. And literally 24 hours ago, I tried to buy the Wires DVD online, and so it's funny you brought that up because I was like, damn, that is kind of. It's just a weird turn how that ended up working out, and you can't find it anywhere online. And I was really sad because I don't have a copy of it.
You can't find it online, really?
Nah, dude, it's only on Discog, and people are charging like $85 for it, and I'm not gonna pay $85 for a fucking DVD of myself.
We should help.
we
out
should
with
try
that.
to see if we could get some more made. I don't know how that
Yeah.
even works, but
Hey,
Yeah, I don't
reissue.
know.
that, or
Reissue.
whoever owns the master, just have it remastered and stick it back up online and load it up.
Probably
I
Robbie.
do get. It was a question earlier, but I was tagged in something recently from that show, from the Pomona Glasshouse show.
Oh shit.
And it was pretty cool because when that happens, like when someone says like, oh, this changed my life or anything like that, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why we even wanted to do it in the first place. So like if to be reminded of that every day, like not a day goes by I don't think about it, but it makes me feel so grateful. Like, cause that's why I wanted to be in a band in the first place, was to connect with people like my favorite bands, like I connected with,
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard for you now to kind of turn around and look back and be like, man, I missed that. I wish I was still doing that. Obviously you're working on the production end and helping create these albums and develop new artists. But is that something, where it kind of eats at the soul a little bit,
I miss it big time. It was tough for me to know, like, that we weren't going to be playing. It was kind of when I realized that was it for, who knows, that at the time I didn't know what was going to happen. It was tough. It's still tough. I'll still think about it. Like I missed tour. I love touring. I loved being in a band, and everything about it. I loved it. So it's tough.
Dude, it all works out for a weird specific reason, and I think about it so much, dude. Like, and it's weird. It has the same effect. Like when you think about, it's obviously not as fun, but when you think about like high school and shit, you only really remember like 20 days, right? Of like your whole freshman year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost how I feel about all the years we toured. I don't remember like every venue we played, and I wish I was a little more like present the whole time that we did it. But I also enjoyed partying the whole time,
Well,
But I
mean,
think where I'm at now is sick, so I just want to like continue to do music. But I do miss all of that, but I'm super grateful it happened. It's my first life, Now I'm on like a second life, I feel like.
That's awesome. Well, let's
Same.
take a
Very
trip down
grateful.
memory lane then.
Sorry, man.
What are your favorite venues that you played then that you can remember?
Ooh, I like that question.
What,
Does
dude,
this
what are they
include
called?
overseas?
Definitely
wherever,
not the
it
one in
doesn't
New
matter.
York
Are we
with the
talking
elevator.
worldwide or are we talking US?
I mean, it's any of them. Like you played Budokan or whatever, or Thailand, the one you were talking about. If like that, those festivals, or Australia or wherever you guys have been. Like, what are the coolest moments you guys remember? Bring back to
Dude,
life. Come on.
The one in New York City with Chiodos at that giant theater was probably one of my favorite ones. I wish I knew the name of it.
Do you remember where it was? I could probably
super
tell you.
poppin'.
It was in the Webster, right?
It might have been. It was like red seats, dude, and like super like gothic, like gold.
I don't
filigree
remember the
shit.
venue, but I remember the show.
If it was seats, it
Absolutely.
wasn't the
That
Webster.
show
The
was
Webster
so-
looks like a big bowl, and
The
there's a
ballroom
second-
in
so
San
cool.
Francisco is one of my favorites. That was always a fun one.
Regency Ballroom.
Regency Ballroom, yeah.
That's a great room, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, dude. Like, I even weirdly enough, the ones I miss the most aren't like all the House of Blueses at Disney World and shit like that. It's like the random ones that we'd play like an Eagles Lodge on the floor, and there'd be like 350 people there with no air conditioning.
Are you
Those
talking
are
about
like
the
the
one in
ones to
Vegas?
me that were like super rock and roll that stood out a lot.
Are you talking about Eagles Lodge in Vegas?
Oh shit, dude.
Is that the one you're saying?
Or the bowling alley.
Well, that
Yeah,
that was
there's a
something
bunch
I
of
was
them.
going to ask too, because I think it happens with a lot of bands that start to see the success that you guys had, and like I said, I've been friends with you guys for a long time, and I know that you guys were all kids when this happened. You guys were all
We're like just graduated.
17, 18, 19, 20, and that's a weird situation, a weird position to be put in, where someone's like, hey, check it out. We're throwing you out to, what was it, North Carolina, where you recorded the She Watched the Sky?
That's correct.
Yeah, but I mean, how old officially were you guys when that happened? Because I feel like they just threw you guys out there. I remember Joey being like, we got a record deal. And then next thing you know, it was like, we're halfway across the country, and now we got to produce this record.
I think we were 18 or 19. I remember my parents were like, you're not going to sleep in a fucking Walmart. And I was like, yeah, we are. There's nowhere else. We can't afford hotels. So I know I was young enough that like my parents were tripping off that kind of shit,
Weren't we? I felt like we were kind of not negotiating, but we were kind of in contact with Tragic Hero, with the record label when we were in high school. I felt like we were. That could be wrong though.
I think it was like literally when we graduated, and it was that
we
summer.
We were 18 when we did.
We played that Battle of the Bands where we thumped Dance Gavin Dance. Just kidding, we didn't. We didn't play, though. And
it was our hometown.
It was obvious they gave that one to us.
We had home court advantage, I think.
Well, you know what's
yeah,
funny
we got
is,
the money for the trailer, and we left like a couple days later.
Yeah, because I literally specifically remember one day I pulled up to Galt, and I met up with Joey and Jordan, and I want to say it was at Jordan's house or parents' house or some shit.
The dream team right there, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Jordan.
And I remember Joey dropping the bomb on me. He's like, dude, it happened. It's a done deal. We're there. And then I believe that same fucking day we went to Roseville Underground and you guys were playing a show. I'm pretty sure it was that day we drove from Galt to there, straight to the Underground, and it was a gnarly sold out show at the old church spot.
I think it was with like Mozart season.
I think you're right. I think it was Mozart season, dude.
Do you remember the day we got back from North Carolina, the show in Stockton at the Mexican restaurant?
That's kind of where I knew something was happening. Was that show. Yeah, I was going to talk about that. We got, right when we got back from North Carolina, right? We played that show.
We got back. Yeah.
And we had no idea what to expect. We just knew we were playing like this restaurant in Stockton.
It's called like Antonio's or some shit. It was like, I can't remember.
Torino's.
Torino's. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well,
and
you guys,
the show was packed, and that was the first. No, not the first show we played like that, but it was like we knew something was going on. Like people knew our music, like they knew the words. We were like, "What the hell is happening?"
It was the first time we played after Catherine, and that's when I was like, "Shit's going down, dude. We're getting big."
R.I.P. Brian.
So, how many people did the room hold? And like, was it just like off the hook or something? Is that why you remember it so much, or is it just
probably held 200, and we probably had like 350 in there?
That's awesome.
And just people were just so rowdy. I just remember it being like everyone was just losing it. Everyone was just lost in it. It was sick.
Just crowd surfing.
This is what I've been waiting
for. Yeah, so
and I
sweaty.
remembered I spent a lot of my time in the 209 and in the teens, and you guys really did. You took it over. It was crazy. Like even down to what was that place on? Was it like Turner 180 Teen Center?
180
I think
Teen
is what
Center,
it was.
dude.
You know.
Yeah.
And I just remember like you almost couldn't go to a Skylit Drive show out there. It was so ridiculous. Lines would be around the block. It was unreal. Like you couldn't pull up, but then it started to spread outside of that, and the next thing you guys know, you're a national touring band. You know, that seems like a weird thing to be thrown right into. Like, you guys didn't do a lot of tours on your own before that happened, right, Nick?
Kind of. So it might seem like it happened quick, but those first couple tours were pretty rough because we played those home, like the Northern California shows. And the second we got out of California, it was like we were playing to I think we expected like these shows are going to be so sick. This is going to be crazy. We were playing shows to 5 people, 2 people. We played one on that first tour we did. We played a karate dojo, and there was maybe like 3 people there. I mean, it was so fun. Like looking back and like that was such a great time.
It was just the band and their
cool.
girlfriends. It's because a Hartwell ending took us out. They were headlining, and the first show in Oregon, their bus broke down and they dropped off. So we were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna do the whole tour," which like it doesn't really work like that, And so we just got paid like fucking like $50 a show and to travel across states the whole time. It was fucking rough, but it was cool.
I mean, we were sleeping in the van, a lot of nights. Like, and like Joey said, I mean, we had, maybe $1 each to live on every day. But it was cool. Like looking back, I'm like, man, that was so rad. And I don't think we complained a day about it. I think we were just so excited that we were just on the road.
And we randomly played a good show in New Jersey on that same tour. Like the day before we played a show like on Halloween, and there was like 14 people there. But the next day was when the guys from Trustkill came out, because like Trustkill was for some reason looking at A Skylit Drive back then, and which I only knew they had like Terror and all these other like beatdown bands. So I was like, all right, cool. But we played a show in New Jersey and it was fucking sick. There was like 100 people there singing along. I remember it was a really good one for that tour.
This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Let's talk about something we could all use more of right now. Sex, great sex. Guys, now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up, BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, so you can be ready whenever the opportunity arises. Blue Chew is made in the USA, it's prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor and wait in line. It's even cheaper than a pharmacy, and they prepare and ship it right to you in a discreet package. No awkwardness, and you don't need to leave the house. If you could benefit from more confidence when it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Right now, we've got a very special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code SSCast. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BLUEChew.com, promo code SSCast. Try it for free.
From home studio to your office, your gear performs better in an acoustic-treated room. It's not your gear, it's the room.
RLX Acoustics creates professionally tested products that's not some knockoff mattress foam. RLX provides free knowledge and support so that you can properly enhance your acoustics.
Use code Swenson and Vance in all caps at rlx.com for 10% off your entire order.
The #1 brand in acoustics, providing you trusted solutions for over 40 years.
If it works for us, it's going to work for you.
Make sure to go to rlx.com. That's AURALEX.com.
Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry to interrupt you, but before we get back to the show,
make sure you subscribe to our channel right now.
Yes, right now.
We thank you for the support, everybody.
And we're going to get right back to the action.
Yeah, New Jersey was always good to us. That's
like, did you guys like play like Asbury Park, or did you play Trenton or Newark, or where was it?
Dude, all of them, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's something that was crucial about you guys too, and I think that's almost something that like modern bands are. I don't want to say lacking, because maybe not lacking. Trevor's a booking agent, so I don't want to hate too much on these modern day.
I don't have anything to do right now. So
I just feel like there's an old school tone of get out there, earn your way, play the shows. If they suck, they suck. You're either way. If you're coming back and 5-10 more people are coming every time, because it's like you guys reached a point where you're like selling out, White Rabbit in San Antonio and like some real crazy shit.
That was a sick venue. Going back to your question, that was one of my favorites for sure.
That was a sick venue. But I guess it did we did get on some great tours early on. So we did get on some amazing tours like really early on in the band's career. So I feel like right after that one where we weren't supposed to be at the headliner, but our first tour we were the headliner. I can't even remember what was our. Do you remember our second one?
The second one tour was A Day to Remember, My Children, My Bride, and Blessed by a Broken Heart.
Wow.
And okay, that's pretty gnarly.
Did A Day to Remember headline?
And we opened it, right? Yeah.
Very lucky to have gotten to be on that tour.
That was before A Day to Remember was like really cracking, but it was still like 300 kids a night. it shows.
I think that hit the boardwalk, didn't it?
I was gonna say that sounds like a
I think it
boardwalk
hit the
tour for sure.
boardwalk. I think
it
might
probably
have.
did. I just remember it being like, "Whoa, Data Remember's huge," and it was like 350 cap rooms sold out. But now they're like
even on
arena
that tour, I remember a couple shows there'd be like I remember one show. I remember it was in Louisiana or something. It was a storming like crazy, and there was maybe like 15 people there. And it was
when it
so
flooded.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was so cool because I remember every band still just brought it, and like Day to Remember still just went so hard, and those 15 people there, they just went wild. I remember that. I remember that show like it was yesterday, and being really cool.
Dude,
Do you remember the one in Florida where we played with all these like really like I forget the name of them? It was called like something Star. It was like super hardcore bands, and I was like, there's no AC in that place either. I keep bringing up AC for some reason. I don't even really care about it though. But there's like
You really need that good air conditioning.
fuck it, I got a fan on me right now. But I remember
It's
like
40
being
degrees
kind of scared
outside.
at a show, dude, because there was all these dudes with like face tats with like fucking gang shit on it. Nicest dudes I ever met in my life, and it was like one of the most fun shows.
That sounds like you were in like Heavenly, Florida, or whatever it is.
It was
right outside.
Miami, dude.
Well,
I think it was Miami.
We have to remind people too that face tats. This was fucking 10, 12 years ago.
This was like 2006
when you had
or
your face
7,
tatted,
dude.
you were
Yeah.
actually a fucking savage.
Yeah, it was hard.
Nowadays,
Ahead
you
of their
see-
time. It was cool.
Yeah, you see
Yeah.
people
And
with
they-
face tats on.
And I remember everybody was so cool to us at that
They were like,
show.
"You guys fucking brought it," and I'm like,
'Cause we're like, okay, we were different than every band, and that was kind of cool too, because we hadn't really done that either, because we were just touring ourselves before that, so we were like playing with way different genres and stuff. So that was interesting.
Who was your guys' agent when you first started out? Was it Shapiro? Was he kind of the mind behind the agent side of it?
We didn't have one when we first started out. I don't think Dave Shapiro came a little bit into it, right?
We had to be real fortunate to get that tour. I mean, that's an amazing tour to be on. I don't know who was our booking agent at that time. But
I think
pretty sure
Tommy
you-
and Eric were kind of
I'm pretty
handling
sure you
all of our
shared-
band stuff,
you
and Sean
shared-
Crono,
Yeah,
right?
you kind of shared managers at the time, so that's probably why you landed that tour. No.
It was all Artery
That sounds
Foundation
right.
bands.
Yeah, that's why it was the Artery tour. So,
Somebody got 10% of this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
everybody
It went
always
somewhere.
gets 10% of it. So
in those days, I'm like, I get to play shows every day and hang out with my friends. That's cool. I didn't really know other than that.
Well, that was one thing I was going to bring up too, as far as the financial aspect, because actually I do applaud you guys on this, and I remember you doing it a long time ago. When you guys reached a certain level of success where you 1,000% could have been in a bus, you guys decided to buy your own RV or Winnebago, whatever you call it, and you guys were like, fuck a bus. We're not going to do that. You guys rode in a van forever. DGD, I remember, did the same thing, but I remember you guys had like a red 15-passenger van, dude, and you guys grinded that thing to death, and then you were like, you know what? We're not paying $1,200 a day for a bus. We're buying this fucking RV.
RV was sick, actually. Yeah,
It was. I mean, there is a risk to that. If anything happens, you got to take care of it. You got to pay for it. And those things really aren't built for like 10 dudes touring the country living in it. But it was good to us, man. We got really lucky. And
Dude.
yeah, but if you're
We
in
were
a bus,
stoked.
you're spending $36,000 a month just having that thing, and then you're done. There's $36,000 of the tour.
I want to tell a story, but I don't want to bring up air conditioning again.
Okay.
All right, let me tell one real quick.
So I was standing next to an air conditioner, and
So-
I know
okay, what do you got?
exactly what he's going to
So
talk about.
speaking of air conditioners and
That air
RVs,
conditioning, man.
yeah, it's just my theme today. There was, like Nick said, you have to figure shit out on the road, which is really hard when you have like 8-hour drives every night, and we were checking into a hotel, and I don't really smoke weed or anything. So for some reason we had Salvia, and I took like a fucking bong rip of Salvia, and literally 10 seconds later, whoever was driving drove the car into the awning of a hotel, and it ripped the fucking AC out of the RV so you could see the sky at nighttime when you looked up, like standing in the kitchen area. I never laughed so hard in my life at like an unfortunate circumstance. Everyone was tripping, and I was like, Nick was with me. We were both outside, like on the ground laughing, dude. It was horrible. But then you got to spend like $2,500 the next day and 5 hours to find someone to fix it. You know, it's tough.
Well, it's my understanding you never drove a single fucking day on tour.
No, I was a genius, dude. Everyone talked shit on me.
Joey
But
had
I knew
it
what
figured
I
out.
was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I parked the van a few times, but everyone was real sketched out about that too. So I was like, fuck it, whatever, you know.
You were the
I didn't get my
luckiest
driver's
person
license until 3
I've
weeks
ever
after I
known.
left the band.
Dude, he never drove, and even if they asked him, he would just get fucking schmammered. So he'd reach the point where he'd be like, "No, I can't drive, bro. You crazy."
It was
They're like,
pretty
"I'm
much
so
an
tired."
understanding. Joey's not driving.
Yeah, I forgot I did that. That's so shitty. of
You
me.
guys made
Damn.
poor Kyle drive fucking all day, every day, huh?
Yeah.
You know what's funny though? That AC situation that happened multiple times. That's not the only time that happened. And I feel like one
When
of the
did it
times
happen?
we didn't get it fixed for like a long time. I feel like it was that time because I remember you and I like hanging out the top of it when we, we would.
Like there was that big of a
When we
hole.
would-
Like you ripped the like so the big. You're talking about the big block air conditioners, right?
The
On
big
top, yeah.
AC unit. Yeah, it just because we think we're gonna clear whatever's above us, but we forget we have that fucking AC unit. And I remember it felt like literally like, well, it might have been our circumstance, like the earth was just shattering around us, but it was like, what the hell just happened? And it just ripped that thing off the top.
Dude, the second time Corey was driving and Brian had made a pipe out of an apple and it was in the cup holder in the front. I remember seeing this vividly. And we were in front of like Iowa State, dude. And we're all out the window. There's all these like fine girls walking by with their books and fucking, fake tans, fake cans, whatever you want to do. But we're all like, oh my God, look at all these girls. And all of a sudden you hear, oh fuck. And the whole AC rips off right in front of all these people outside of college, dude. And I was like, right before it happened, I was like, what's the sound of those chains on the roof? And it was like, if your vehicle hits these chains, you're not going to clear it. And Corey smoking his apple with Brian in the front was like, fuck it. And fucking went through, dude. Horrible.
God.
That was the time I was thinking of.
That's one thing I love about Corey too, though. I mean, obviously we don't have him on this one, but he's the homie as well, and I feel like he's such a reserved, quiet individual. Like if people really knew that dude, like who he could actually be, you'd be like, oh wow, Corey's a crazy dude,
He's definitely not as quiet as people think. But,
No, it's a
You get him
facade.
going, dude.
But I
He's
feel like
definitely a good time.
I feel like that helped him too, because there was a lot of you guys where, maybe you and Nick were a little more outgoing, and then you kind of had Corey who just had this weird, quiet mystique about him, and he kind of had a pretty face, and all that stuff. Which leads me into another question, and this could rebuttal into a question for me. I'm going to direct this one at Joe. But how the hell did you guys link up with Jeffree Star in L.A.? How did that even happen? I mean, this is when MySpace being
no.
I remember, and I'm bringing this up because, I have my own history there. But
Yeah.
I will say, I remember when MySpace Top 8 was the shit. And if somebody famous put you in their top 8, it was almost like a celebrity cosign. It was them saying, like, these dudes are the shit. And I remember checking my MySpace one day, and Jeffree Star's number one fucking person in his top 8 was A Skylit motherfucking Drive, dude.
Yeah, dude. He put me and Corey in there when we stayed at his house, and it was like hundreds and hundreds of fucking friend requests the whole time. Like every time I checked it, it was fucking crazy. But it all started because I think Jeffree was a fan of the band, and he reached out to Corey and was like, hey, you want to hang out? And Corey was like, yeah, I want to hang out. And Corey called me and was like, yo, I don't want to drive to LA all by myself. I mean, he's big online. We don't really know the dude though. And I was like, yeah, I'll go with you, just to make sure shit's cool. And we ended up staying there for like a fucking week, dude, at his apartment, way before J Star was fucking J Star makeup, cosmetics.
That was when he was just an LA kid, bro.
Yeah, but we just kicked it, dude. He was a cool guy. He's definitely, back then he was fucking wild, and we definitely had a good time. He was
I'm
fun
sure
to
he
go out
still
with,
is now, but
clubs
we'll
and
never
shit.
see
It
him
was
because
awesome.
he's in a fucking mansion in Calabasas.
Jeffree was always so cool to us. I just remember
Mm-hmm.
just being super chill.
Yeah, he's always
hanging out whenever we were playing in LA or whatever we were doing there.
He's always kind of got a bad rap, and I'm not here to defend him, but just like my personal experiences with him, which is all I can speak on, he's a fucking cool dude. You know, he's always been mad cool to me. He's always treated all my friends with respect. I've never had any sort of issue where, you know, you hear crazy shit. But I think when you reach that level of fame, you know, and shit like that happens, which is I guess kind of segues into the next question I wanted to ask you guys is like, you know, you guys got to a point where you're really fucking packing rooms and shit was happening quick for you. There was a lot of money involved and people are really starting to show up at the shows, and there's lines, you know, 200, 300, 400, 500 people long in every city you're going to.
Definitely lines.
Was that hard to accept?
Definitely lines.
Was that hard to accept, you know, or was that hard to cope with? Was that a weird situation where you guys all of a sudden, was it a we made it moment, you know, where you're like, fuck, you know, we're here. What do we do?
I think I just kind of went with it, bro. I never had like I'm making it or we're doing it big. It was kind of just like it kept happening, and then it became, I kind of like, it sounds bad saying it, but I kind of expected it, you know, like you were just hoping for it every single night. And when you saw it, it was like, fuck yeah, tonight's gonna be sick. But that's like as deep as I probably went with it, you know?
I would honestly like just daydream about that. I would be in school. Like I kind of sucked in school, and not that I'm going to influence anyone the wrong way, do well in school. But I would just daydream about that shit. And it was just, yeah, like Joey said, I don't think we were like, oh, we made it, but it was like that gradual getting there and like starting to see more people come to the shows each tour. It was, and I think we were like manifesting it. Like we were like, this is what we're going to do. There was like no plan B for us. We were like, this is it. You know, we're going to grind and we're going to keep doing this. So
I did have a we made it moment that I'll share with you. And it was when we went to Indonesia. Or was it? No, it wasn't Indonesia. That was the airport that looked like a prison. One of them we flew into in Asia, there was kids at the airport, dude, like freaking out with signs and shit. And that's when I was like, what the fuck? Like, we're huge over here. Like, that's the first time I had like we made it. And the security guards were like, don't get close to the kids, dude. They'll pull your hair out and rip your fucking belt off and take your shoes because they just want something of yours, you know? And I was like, fuck, this is serious, you know, in Asia.
That's
fucking nuts.
That's like that whenever I go down to Mexico City with any of the bands that we have, and they flock them, and it's absolutely crazy.
It's because kids don't get to see it that much, and they finally get like an American band out there they've been listening to for 6, 8, 10 years. They fucking lose their shit, you know? I think that's cool.
That happened last time we were in Brazil too. There was like a mob outside selling like bootleg t-shirts, and the band we were down there like went
Brazil goes.
Yeah, and like they just went absolutely insane on the band once they came in, and they mobbed it, and they start rocking the whole freaking the bus that we drove up in on. I'm just like, they're gonna kill you. They're your fans.
Someone
they're gonna
pulled
kill
out
you.
Nick's hair, dude. Someone did rip out part of Nick's
Someone
hair,
ripped out your hair, dude?
Did they? Didn't you have like a little Jedi braid? Someone fucking
I just remember someone grabbing my hair. But I was so excited. I was like, dude, what's going on? Because I remember in South America when we showed up, there was people at the airport and waiting outside the venues, you know, when our bus showed up. And I think we were like just blown away because we had no idea, you know, what to expect. And
how could you not be? Yeah.
I remember looking at everybody like, do they know this is us? Do they think we're like someone else?
Are we at the wrong place?
Yeah,
is Metallica staying here tonight? What's going on?
Yeah, it was the only time you couldn't just walk into a venue with your backpack on. You know, you had to run, dude, like from people and like slam the door real quick.
Those are fun moments.
Those shows were so incredible, though. That South American tour was too cool.
Good days and nights there. I love
that's a fucking wild experience. That's got to be super obscure to be like, okay, I'm 3,000 miles from home, and there is kids trying to rip my fucking hair out. You know,
dude. But most importantly, I thought South America was right below us. I didn't know the fucking thing started at Florida. I thought it was just right below Mexico, dude. I didn't even know my geography until I looked at that GPS on the airplane, and I was like, it's gonna be a long ass trip.
I still don't know. You just taught me something.
Nick, I was gonna ask Nick a question specifically just because this is something I remember over the years. And when I first met you, you know, obviously you're like 17, 18, but you were so small. You're such a little dude, and I don't think you gave a rat's ass about fitness or health, you know? And then I just kind of remember it evolved over the time. And it seems like now, still to this day, you take your health and being active extremely seriously. But when did that transition happen for you where you realized, okay, I'm touring 24/7, 200 plus days a year. I need to actually take this health thing seriously, you know?
Yeah. For me, I think it was just a way to have some routine and kind of deal with a little bit of anxiety and stuff. Because exercising for me is just, it's completely mental. And I think one of my buddies at home in between touring was like, hey man, come to the gym with me. One day. I've never stepped foot in a gym in my life. Before that, I think I was like 22 or 23. And I just got hooked on it. I just felt awesome. And I felt so much clearer mentally. And another thing, touring and the way we would come home and have these 2 weeks off where we would just kind of fuck around, and we were young, but it was the partying can take a toll, after a while, for me anyway, where I could get kind of dark mentally. So that was a really good balance for me.
Which is weird. I've never
in moderation is okay, but I think that really helped me have a good routine.
I've never heard anyone say it's a mental thing either. I mean, that makes a lot of sense because Trevor, I know, he works out as well and he goes crazy.
It doesn't show, but I do. I really
but
do.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's when you actually use that word mental, for you, it was a comfortable aspect as far as the mental is concerned, and you weren't necessarily doing it because you were trying to, gain size or get massive. It
not
was just
really.
mental.
It was I enjoyed it. I obviously just kept doing it, and wanted to get bigger. So, but I enjoyed lifting weights. I got really into that. I would love to get stronger, and it was kind of a goal, so it was something to focus on that wasn't the band, because the band was 100% of my focus at all times. So I think that was just another outlet of something I could just work on and kind of a hobby.
It's almost like therapy, huh?
Exactly, man. It 100%.
Well,
and it gets you away from the band too, which is good, because having 100% of something on your mind is fucking taxing, dude.
Yeah. And then when we were on the road, I started going to gyms every day, and I would get to the venue and I would call every gym that was close by. And until one of them, maybe they knew about the show or something, or they would just be cool and let us all come in there for free. Because even if you didn't use the gym, it was a place to shower. So that's
absolutely.
When you're on tour, you're not shower. You can't shower every day if there's nowhere to go or clean up or whatever. So the gym was a place to go do that.
Yeah, everybody has Anytime Fitness stuff now where they get them, and because there's one in every single city, almost everywhere in the world.
Exactly.
Now. And it's you got free shower. Sometimes they got snacks there. It's warm if you're staying in the van and it's cold, so it's nice. And they're 24 hours, so key fob it. You're in. You're warm. You're good to go.
Hey, when bands get touring again, that's the best, because it's so inexpensive. It's actually more expensive to do that than to pay for showers at truck stops or something.
Yeah, $34 a month versus what is it? It's $10 to take a shower at the gas station. So
yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's
gas
something.
Station showers are so ghetto at 2 a.m, dude.
But they're not though. It's been a while since you've been on tour, because those Flying J's, man, and you go out. Sometimes when you haven't showered in 3 or 4 days and you see that bath, you guys know what I'm talking about though. You see that shower and you're like,
no, it's good because they have Wi-Fi too, so you
Yeah.
can watch your fucking weird shit you want to in a room finally, you know?
And I feel like that's
I remember that being the best sight when we had, you haven't showered, you've been driving for like 3 days and you see that Flying J or whatever in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota or something. Just, it's
like heaven,
your ass
heaven.
Well,
and you know you're about to just slam that jumbo coffee because you're just walking out with that thing with a smile in a shower. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, everybody, it's Trevor and Adam.
We want you to check out Dynamic Talent International, the boutique booking agency with a personal attention to their clients' needs.
From music talent, seminars, podcasts, and YouTube, DTI represents a wide range of incredible clients.
Visit dynamictalentint.com for a full roster list and contact information. Go check it out.
Making good music is hard, but marketing your music shouldn't be. It's simple.
Simple was born out of the idea of wanting to help musicians and industry professionals better navigate the modern music industry.
Whether you're an artist, band, manager, or record owner, Simple has a solution for you.
They offer Facebook and Instagram ads management services, Spotify growth, content marketing consultations, and so much more.
Visit their website at oddlysimple.xyz. That's SIMPL, no E.xyz.
No E. Go check it out.
Thanks. Who are some of your fitness inspirations then? If you're a big fitness guy, who are you emulating and really following?
Who's been big? I remember this guy. There's a few. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. There's this dude. I think his name's Artemis Dalgan is his name. And then Arnold was the first one. I just thought Arnold was so cool.
Mm-hmm. It's hard not to love fucking Arnold, dude.
Yeah, I think that's like the Arnold's like the gateway bodybuilder, and you start like learning learning about all these other guys. But anyone inspirational like that, I really like The Rock. The Rock's the shit. He's just a cool guy. I love his positivity, and I love that he's like seems to be in it for a mental aspect as well.
Do you follow the guys like Seth Feroce or Cutler or any of those guys that are running around still?
Cutler for sure. Do you know Dennis Wolf? I really like Dennis Wolf.
Dennis Wolf. Yeah, Mountain Dog's cool too.
Dope.
I don't know if you know him or not. So
can I interject? Even though I don't know shit about fitness, but I am fucking.
I mean, he's yoked. He's gained like 12 pounds. The guy's over here just crushing.
I'm beasting.
It's all he talks about.
I know.
Like, dude, I'm up to 182 now.
He did the same thing to me. He's like, dude, look at me. I'm all yoked. I'm like, what are you?
Simon?
What? Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying.
He's
trying to get out here, bro. I don't know.
That's what's up, man.
It's that new Traeger, dude. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just a new
that's
Traeger,
clutch,
really.
man. It's all about the food.
You know who it is that actually though really motivates the fuck out of me, and I know there's a lot of people, but and David Goggins, man.
Oh, I love Goggins.
That guy is the most unfucking real machine. His slogan, "Stay hard." I literally live by it, dude. Sometimes when I'm doing something that I don't want to do, especially due to the pandemic, it's like I make 100% of my money solely on the music industry. So I've had to do some questionable shit or maybe physical labor shit I don't want to do over the last year. But, I got to make ends meet. And anytime I'm in that situation, I just tell myself, dude, I'm like, fucking stay hard, bro.
Dude,
stay hard.
I'm telling you, you need to check out Seth Feroce. You guys will be like, this is who I'm living like. I'm telling you.
All right,
all he talks about is family values, lifting weights, and fucking his wife. That's literally his entire life.
I could get with
and
that. Those are good tenets to live by.
And he's the most honest person you ever talked about because he does steroids. And he's like, yeah, hell yeah, I do steroids. Should you do them? Absolutely not. But he goes, damn. I look good though, don't I?
Well, I see Nick posting too, dude. And you're with the homie Nate, obviously. Shout out to Nate, man. What a cool dude. It's
Nate
like
my boy.
Gotta plug him. That's the boy right there. The most positive dude I've ever met too. At least one of them. But like you guys are rocking,
he's awesome.
You guys are rocking like 10-mile runs in a day, and then expanding it past that.
That kind of started because I listened to that David Goggins audiobook.
Yeah, baby.
So I was listening to that every day at the gym and just getting so fired up. And I'm not a big runner at all. I hate running, actually. And my buddy Nate, he's a big time runner.
Oh, yeah.
He does like the ultra marathon runs.
He runs around Lake Tahoe and shit.
Yeah, and he's a hard worker. He's cool to always. We hang out like every day. We hit the gym and we run. And he's a good guy to have around. He's like, because we're both like pushing each other, always going hard. But he signed us up. He was like, we're doing this. Like, because we were on a run. We ran like 4 miles or something. For me, I was like, dude, this is crazy. I never run. And he signed us up for like a 30-mile. It's a 50K, so it's like 31 miles or something. So we've been training for that.
Like straight run, or like you talking about like a Spartan race or something like that?
No, it's just a straight run.
You're like, so you're running a full marathon?
If I, not to brag on
What's
Nate,
that?
but I'm pretty sure Nate did like, didn't he do 100-miler or something crazy around Tahoe or something?
He did a 72-mile run in Tahoe.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, at that high elevation, and
Which
you do
is
it.
gnarly.
It's a consecutive, right? It's something like where you're just jamming until you're done.
Yeah,
it's wild, dude.
You stop to go to the bathroom and to eat, and that's it.
That's crazy, dude.
That's nuts.
I think that's an important
dude.
thing, though. I would like to see more bands, especially bands like you guys that have been through so much. I think if somebody could maybe like create a company or something, and maybe I'm dropping a dime for you now. But I think it would be important, like if young bands and artists like that are touring like that took their health more seriously, they could create a level of longevity and comfortability in touring that bands have probably never seen, because it's like, yeah, you get fucked up, you hang over, you slam some Pedialyte, and you feel good the next day. But like, imagine if you actually were embracing that 100% of the time, while on tour and able to.
Didn't the dude from Terror, and then the guys. What's the singer's name? Just super jacked out hardcore singer. They came out with like fitness videos for on tour.
Hard Knocks? No, it's not Hard Knocks.
No.
I know who you're talking about though. I've worked with them.
Was it Brandon Chipetti, the Bleeding Through?
That's what it was. Bleeding
Through.
Through. Yeah, it's like I just saw the videos this morning, and it's him working out on tour, and he's showing people how to use one bar and a whole bunch of weights to do all these things, and he's doing it right in the back of the trailer.
Dude, I think that's rad.
Stick to Your Guns did that. Stick to Your Guns had like weight benches in their trailer. Those dudes were big on health, and they were like straight edge, you know. They were super healthy and working out every day.
Out of all the shows I've ever done, and I've done several Doyle shows, and I know you can vouch for this.
Yeah.
Doyle brings a full gym with him in his trailer. Like, he calculates a portion of his trailer just for his gym. But for that dude, how old is Doyle? He's got to be like
40 something.
Dude,
he's got to be
I'm
almost 50 by now.
Bro, maybe. And he is a massive human being.
I just don't know how he eats that many calories as a
dude,
vegan.
he takes it so seriously. Yeah, he's a vegan as well, dude. And he is just gassing.
Is he really?
Bro.
I didn't know that.
Dude,
that's insane.
His techs, literally his techs, you know, which obviously he has several of them. His techs drag his gear in, bro. He gets down and just beast modes right before his set. Every time he puts a solid hour and a half in. And it's crazy, but it's probably a testament to his longevity. You know, that's, you know, I'm circling back to what I was talking about, but I think if more bands took their health more seriously, they could probably, you know, create more longevity in their career in the long run, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. It's hard to stay positive and like straight like that on the road, man. So my hat's off to people who can really do that from like start to finish, you know, like if they really took it seriously, that's a tough one. It would be for me anyways, you know?
Can we get into some juicy questions with you guys really quick? I got a couple. I'm sure Chad has a couple. All right. I mean, I know you guys have done some tours with like Alisana and some crazy shit, but I want to Joey already started laughing. I want to hear one of the craziest fucking stories, dude. You got to give us something crazy.
Dig deep into the vault. Come on,
deep, bro. I need something wild.
We're talking like puking off of a balcony in Germany or some shit.
Yeah, this could be drinking warm beer.
That was like a non-juicy story. that one.
I feel like that was just like
that was last week, man.
That was happening
on a daily basis.
That was the Conor McGregor fight. What are you talking about, man?
There's a good one. Me and Nick were obviously close, you know, and like, you know, like those stories of like where people always fist fight their brothers and shit. That was definitely like me and Nick sometimes on the road. But speaking of Alisana, and I think we were going to South America. Yeah, we were on an airplane, and Nick was sitting one seat behind me and one seat over. Okay. Fuck. And so I'm like leaning over my seat the whole time. Me and Nick and Corey and the Alisana guys drank every bottle on the airplane that they had. So I'm 100% blacked out. And for some reason, me and Nick get into it in the middle of the night on an airplane. And we're like trying to punch each other over a seat while Alisana's sleeping. And I'm like climbing over a seat on him. And I don't want to say anything embarrassing.
You guys were supportive.
No, you can finish it. You
guys were support though.
Yeah, because
we're support. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So again,
Dougie Gandil though when we landed, he said, "I'm literally never going on a tour with you guys."
Was this their first experience with you guys? I know you guys all became bros. You know, you guys.
No, this was like the third experience. With them,
we were pretty tight with them by then, so I think they knew what
they were getting into.
They knew what we were about.
All right, finish it out, Nick.
Dude. There's so many good ones. Like, I mean, just like all the crazy parties and shit. But
no. I want to hear the rest of that.
Yeah,
we gotta hear the rest.
I want to hear the rest of that.
Fist fighting on a plane. Come on.
Yeah, well, we got. Yeah, I remember us fighting on that plane, and I think wasn't their tour manager Dougie? He was like trying to get us to stop fighting, and he was like in between us, and we were like over the seats, over people. They're like, "What the?"
There was Alisana and like strangers were sleeping, and I was like climbing over people and shit over their heads with blankets on, like middle of the night in an airplane. But it was surprised we didn't get arrested.
What was so funny is Joey and I, we were like partners in crime. I feel like so we were just always doing wild stuff always, but we would like. Kind of whatever. Wake up the next day and be like, "What's up, dude?" And like, we didn't like
just never talk
remember we did that, but it just would be like, hey man, what's going on?
I would just be like, my bad, bro. I shouldn't have said
ready
that.
to do that again.
Cool.
Is it
yeah,
true
then like 8
that,
hours later it restarts?
Is it true that in South America, like the cabbies and shit drive like fucking psychos, like they just weaving in and out of lanes and just want to crash?
Tuk-tuks.
Yeah.
Tuk-tuk. That's
dude.
what it's called, huh?
Well, that was in
South America, dude.
Thailand, the tuk-tuks. But in South America, they drive. There's no rules, dude. I remember us being in those vans and the cabs and stuff, being like, dude,
this is it.
This is it, man. I mean, it was a free for all. There's no rules on the road. If I
no one
correctly.
uses stoplights. Well, they have them, but they don't use them. And vans would get so close with like motorcyclists in between you that your van would touch other vans and like scrape
If you
against
drive
them,
on any
and
side
it
of
was
the
normal.
road, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Just cross streets like over mediums and shit.
And you
dude.
guys
It is
obviously you're rolling up. You got a fucking translator, right? Like he's kind of like your tour guide, your hotel dude. Like he's like explaining.
Yeah, we
to you
usually
what
had
people
one
are
with us,
saying,
yeah.
you know, and they're like, hey, don't go here, do this, do that. What about Amsterdam?
Dude.
You guys
Yeah,
got any good
or if we were like, we
Amsterdam
want to go somewhere fucking crazy, he'd be like, let me call my friend, you know?
Let me call my
And
friend.
then we'd fucking get into it.
So you guys toured with Alisana, so you guys know the shot then, right? The Gatorade and with the Gatorade and all
Oh,
that
yeah,
shit?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So the full
They
trans.
taught us that early on. That was it. that was one we kept around for sure.
Dude,
What was
No,
it?
you're
It was
good.
what did they
You're good.
call that?
I don't.
And it was like the Gatorade and then the shot.
I'm
and
trying to remember, but like.
They had a name for it.
So, because to bring this up, like we were talking about when fans were mobbing people, I was in Mexico City with Alisana, and they got destroyed outside their hotel room by people when they were getting mobbed, and that's of course when we all discovered the fact that we started drinking those shots, whichever. So they had Buffalo
Blasters. They called them
Blasters because then they had Buffalo. They'd play Buffalo all the time too.
Don't
you know?
they?
Dude,
They basically-
I got so fucked up on Buffalo because at midnight it would switch and you had to rock it in your right hand.
Oh, and then Dennis
And
has the Buffalo
they-
tattooed on his hand, so you'd never forget.
And you were like,
Dennis was dedicated, man.
dude, and if you said no, he'd literally run up and start kicking you in the nuts and shit.
Oh.
Like there's nothing you could do to stop him. I'd be like, is this fucking serious?
I mean, they're
Like,
kind
this
of the
is
fucking
crazy.
founders of Buffalo in a weird sense, aren't they? Like, especially in the tour world. I know those dudes are like fucking legends.
We should
when
probably
it comes
explain
to
to
that.
people at home what Buffalo is.
Okay, yeah. I mean, basically, Buffalo.
Explain it to me because I think they were fucking with me the whole time. Joey just said it changed at midnight.
No.
I don't even remember that.
Okay,
I
so
think people were just yelling Buffalo at me, and I was just
it,
constantly chugging beer.
it works good for me because I'm
It
a
has to
fucking
stay in
Simon,
your
tell
left
me.
hand, right?
I'm left-handed.
Always
but
drinking in your left hand.
If they
never in your
catch
right.
you with your drink in your right hand and somebody calls Buffalo on you, you got to chug that motherfucker. Or apparently you get kicked in the nuts by Dennis.
That's if you refuse not to chug, you get kicked in the nuts, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that's what he means at midnight. They're switching over to now you drink out of your right hand. I'm left-handed, so I've always loved telling people like, "Hey, let's play Buffalo."
Yeah.
Dude, I got buffaloed with a 40 of Steel Reserve
Oh
one
my
time
God.
by fucking Dennis and threw up everywhere.
Yeah,
like
see, that should be
45
illegal.
seconds
That
later.
should be illegal. They really
That
just
guy
like,
was
yo, chug this
hardcore about that. He had his tattoo said, "My beer stays here" on his hand, dude.
He tattooed a buffalo on his hand.
Yeah, with that script.
Yeah. And I'm just like, that's
God, that's so sick.
That is sick, dude. That is
He's super
sick.
sober now. He's
Yep.
been sober for
Yeah,
years.
he's been sober for
Yeah,
years
good
now.
for him. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that was tough.
I actually still hold my beer in my left hand. Like to this day, I just
I
hold
do
my
too.
beer in my left hand.
I have
That never
PTSD,
changed.
dude.
You can't
I
hang out
crack
with
it, I'm like,
Sean.
oh, shit.
Yeah, and if you're
I feel
around
like
Sean,
Dennis is gonna
yeah,
come out of nowhere
Or-
and call me out.
or Sean,
He'll text
like
you
he'll
Buffalo.
get you.
You're like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
He'll text
Yeah,
you
fuck.
in your sleep. Buffalo.
Better safe
We are
than
now
sorry.
naming this podcast Buffalo. That's this. That's
Yeah,
what
the fucking the clickbait thing's gonna be like Skylit Drive talks about playing Buffalo in South America.
Alisana had good games, dude. They had a game called Trebs and Memes, and it was called Treblicons and Memers. Now, children were memers and adults were Treblicons, and you had a point system. So when you went into a mall, if you could touch a Treblicon, you got 1 point. So if you purposely touched a parent, but if you touched a kid, like on the head or whatever, you got 2 points. And if you could hold their kid, you automatically won. So we'd go into malls and they'd be like, "That kid's so cute. Can I pick him up?" And then you had to buy that person drinks all night for whoever won. And they did it in Europe all the time. And it was fucking weird, dude. People would start looking at you weird. They'd run up and tap a kid's head and run away in some mall store.
I have to call Sean
You
now.
just can't do that nowadays.
I know,
Yeah,
no.
nowadays-
yeah,
You're
I was just
no,
thinking
you're-
that. I was like, there's no
can't
fucking
do that
way
anymore.
you can get away with that now, dude.
You'd be arrested now, dude. That game is long
People would be like,
retired, I'm
pedophile!
sure.
Those were the days.
What about other games, other bands? Come on, there had to be other. Obviously, Alisana is legendary for the games and their drinking. Like they're definitely on the level. But
Who did the game where you had to put something on your sandwich or they beat your food to death?
That sounds
Do you remember that? So say we're at like fucking, I don't know, Denny's,
someone would
for
punch
example.
They'd punch your sandwich. I remember that.
what
Yeah, I'd
band
be like
was
getting ready
that?
for dinner, and I'd stand up and not put something on top of my sandwich, and someone would get up and punch my sandwich and destroy it.
I
And I'd
almost
be like,
know
dude,
what
That game
come
just
on.
made me sad, dude. I was
Pissed
like,
me
what the
off. I'd be
fuck?
starving. It's like my last $10, and my sandwich would be exploded.
Especially when you're broke on the road.
You got to put together your sandwich back together. That's the only thing you're gonna be able to eat. That game's fucked up.
What band was that? I gotta know who that was.
I
don't even
think it was was Tyler Carter's first band?
Woes me.
Woes Me. I think it was the Woes Me guys were into that.
I don't know. Anybody punches
They may
my
punch my
sandwich.
sandwich. Yeah, they're
Fucking,
getting
we got
fucked up.
problems,
I
honey.
mean,
I never liked that game. I was never gonna punch my homie sandwich either. I was like, dude, you need this, man.
No, but
I haven't
once-
eaten in like 3 days.
Once you saw someone not do it, though, you'd get like an overwhelming feeling to destroy food. So I understand where they were coming from, you know?
Was it to turn the circle around a little bit? How weird was it for you guys, like when you went overseas for the first time and you hit Europe and you started to experience that culture for the first time? You know, where you're in a country and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can get blackout drunk at a pub at 16," you know, or
you can go to Germany at 6:00 in the morning to a packed nightclub. What are you
yeah,
talking
exactly.
about?
And you guys were young when you went over there for the first time.
Germany
you know?
was actually the first, I think, overseas spot we hit.
It was. We flew into one of those
Frankfurt.
fucking major cities there.
That night, actually, I remember that night really well. That was so fun because we did this pub crawl thing, and we were so excited. We were like, because we were young, we were only 18 or 19, so we couldn't drink legally in bars in the U.S. or whatever. So,
Do you remember what city you were in?
I remember we were so excited. We were like, dude, we can drink. Like, this is so cool. So we went on this pub crawl. And we partied all night, and I got lost. I remember I got separated from everybody, and I was hanging out with these people from Finland that were there.
And you spoke no fucking German, I'm assuming.
And no Finnish. Obviously, he was hanging out with Finnish people.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone there
I
is
was
cool,
hanging out
though.
with these so cool. And I remember I was like not even worried at all, probably because I wasn't even thinking about it. But I remember eventually it was like the sun was coming up. I was like, oh shit. You know,
I gotta get
with a
back. Where am I?
I'm with my new Finnish homies, and I don't know where everybody is. And they helped me get back to the hostel. We were staying at this hostel, like everybody in the room.
Dude, that was some of the best times. Right when we got to Germany, our guitar tech, Blake, was just gone all of a sudden. And I was like, where the fuck did Blake go? And he came back with a bottle of absinthe because I guess theirs was like stronger over there. And that was the first thing we did. We all sat in this hostel with bunk beds, took shots of fucking absinthe. And I do remember first shot in, Brian White threw up in the sink, got it everywhere.
Are you talking about good old Blake Lounsbury?
Blake Lounsbury.
Blake Lounsbury.
Dude.
What
Yeah.
a man, too.
He was a good
He
time.
was a savage as
The
well.
legend.
In the game. And I heard too, like when you pull up to Germany, they're just like they hand you your beer at room temperature. And they're like, here, fucking 12%er, bro, and it's fucking chilled.
It's normal there to get at breakfast. You drink beers in England, dude. Like it's just normal.
But it's warm.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Maybe it hit you
Sometimes.
harder. I don't know.
I remember drinking warm beer. But I thought they were like, dude, do they hate us?
In the
But that's
UK
how
or in Germany?
They drink warm beer.
In the UK or in Germany?
Both. Or UK for sure. Is that what you said, Simon?
I was just saying,
Warm
I
beer?
know in Germany, and I'm assuming probably in the UK as well. I personally haven't been over there, but I just know they don't serve it like
They don't serve meat cold. They
They
don't
serve
serve
it
me warm beer.
chilled, you know. They're just like here, like room temperature status, you know. But you're getting a fucking thick ass 12% beer in a fucking Stein. And
Yeah.
they're like, yo, drink.
All the
drink
green
this.
rooms always had that one beer in the green bottle. Do you remember what that show was called? It was always there.
Jameson.
Unbex,
Bex?
dude.
Unbex?
Unbex.
Unbex?
Unbix.
Unbex?
Cat clothing for all the cat lovers in us.
Visit catclothing.net for their full line of cat-inspired clothes.
Hoodies, shirts, tanks, shorts, and even fitness gear are now fully in stock for the fall and winter season.
Again, visit catclothing.net today. Check it out. Thanks, everybody.
Meow, meow.
Agent Live 360, the world's first and only publicly offered CRM software designed specifically for sports agents.
AL360 is an incredible state-of-the-art software that does everything from keeping track of clients, professional, and college teams, to even company finances and client return on investment.
This system does it all. Visit agentlive360.com for full details.
Go check it out.
I remember we went to this, a fun story. This is just a fun story, but we went to this Oktoberfest like celebration, which was always a dream of mine. So that was
like, were you in Munich or
rad.
were you in like Hamburg or where were you?
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart.
And
Okay.
we took a train there. We were playing kind of far away, but our buddy, a really good friend of ours from our hometown, was backpacking in Europe, and he ended up toured with us for like 2 weeks. He was only supposed to stay a day, but he stayed with us for like 2 weeks.
He's like,
he was sleeping on the floor of the van. He's like 6'7". He's just this tall ass dude, but we just kept him. He was so much fun. But anyway, he knew his whole way around everything, and we were like pre-gaming and all the way there, and we were like feeling good, and we were so excited, and it was the most incredible place I could have ever imagined.
It was magical. There was a carousel in the middle of it, and when you got on, it's obviously spinning, right? A carousel. When you got off, though, you'd be in like a different part of this fucking beer theme park. So you'd get on and get off and be like, I don't know where the fuck I am, and you just go somewhere else, and you just kept going. There was bands playing, and they play the same like 10 songs at Oktoberfest, and we started learning the songs by like 4 hours in. So we were just screaming these German songs with random strangers, and this is also like at 2 p.m. and we played at like 9 at night. So we stayed there till like 6.
I have a neighbor.
We stayed there as long as we could.
I have a neighbor that's German too, and he's literally the nicest fucking dude. I thought his name was Jochen forever. It's Jochen. So I always would be like, "Hey, what's up, Jochen?" And then he was like, "It's Johan," you know, and like gave me up. So now I call him Johan, but still for some reason I say Jochen. But like it's funny how you feel like German people. You feel like they're attacking you, but they're actually being really nice, you know?
Well,
their language is aggressive. Yeah.
John, our friend John that we were with, right when we got there, this guy comes up in full, like he's holding the mug, full lederhosen or whatever, you know, the full get up, dude. And John comes in and they just like are at a standoff. I remember they walked like right up to each other and just were staring. And it was like, so we all looked at each other like, what's happening right now? And the dude in the lederhosen just held his arms out to hug John. Like held out like a hug. And they just like embraced and hugged each other for like a good minute. And we all just kind of looked at each other. We all got our mugs, you know, right when we walked in. We were just like, dude, we're like in the promised land. Like this is where
we're holding our boots, dude. Our DOS
like
boots.
That guy was just so happy we were there and just hugged John. It was the best.
That is
it was the last day of any Oktoberfest too, was the one that we were at. So we like barely hit it, you know. I'm sure that show was not our best show we ever played.
And that's the exact reason I'm going to retire in Germany.
Apologies for that one, but we definitely had to hit the Oktoberfest.
Can't
I think
blame
we did
us.
well considering. Yeah.
Yeah, we showed up.
I love it. What else you guys been doing? You know, obviously touring's a big deal and all this stuff, but what have you been doing while just hanging out at home in the quarantine days?
Dude, just working a shit ton, dude. I had a kid like 8 months ago.
Congrats.
So
Nice.
I'm just on
Yeah,
dad mode,
baby
but
Carter.
I work a shit ton, and on my days off, just try to fucking hang out and write music, dude. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's super repetitive right now because of COVID. Like I'm a huge movie theater person. I can't go anywhere. I love going out to restaurants and drinking. Can't do any of that shit. So I've actually like my drinking's cut way, way down because of COVID, and I thought it would have gone way, way up, you know? It was kind of boring sitting at home drinking, but I don't know. Do you guys watch a ton of Netflix, play a ton of video games, work on music, hang out with Simon, do merchant stuff on the side? I've been writing music with Nick.
What are you guys rocking on Netflix?
Something that's going to get taken pretty seriously that we're going to try to put out for everyone.
I like it. Oh, are we talking a return for the ASD boys?
No.
Okay.
No,
We're talking
something
We're
different.
talking
New
merchants.
Horizon. No. It's got nothing to do with that. They're cooking something very low key. It sounds like.
Oh, little teaser.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty low key.
I like that. It's juicy.
Little
Well,
teaser.
Nick too.
But it's just fun. It's just fun because it's fun just like collaborating with Joey again. Just, you know, because we're just homies, and it's cool just to do fun shit with your friends. You know, it's kind of like full circle to why we even started doing music in the first place. I think is like why I want to do music. It's just because it's fun and it's awesome to do with your friends.
I think that's
which is why, like I said, like why we started to do it.
I think that's something COVID has like really grounded a lot of us with, especially musicians. It just helps you get back to the core of like why you do it, why you love it. It's just like I actually love music, and I feel like especially for people like in your guys' situations, where it was such a massive portion of your life, like you guys never had real jobs. It's like you guys went right into just being touring.
We're like
musicians.
feral animals, dude.
Yeah, it's like
when
a
the band stopped,
us,
like where do we go?
So
what do we do?
It's cool
like,
to get back.
You can't act that way in the real world.
Yeah,
Yeah. I felt like I had to be like reintroduced almost to like society. Like it was weird.
Like you're out of prison.
I was just so used to touring, like, or I needed to be like learn how to do life, I guess.
Not traveling's pretty boring though. That's kind of one thing I do miss a lot. I try to go out of town, but it's just not the same as flying to other countries with your friends,
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't know, but I appreciate that.
Oh, I feel I don't.
Well, I don't
it's driving me nuts, man. I'm getting on a plane.
We can go to another country, Simon.
Let's
We'll
go.
fly to Mexico, dude.
Let's go.
This summer.
I'm getting on a plane next month, and I'm scared to death.
Nuts.
Yeah,
I do love the studio stuff though. So like I was saying in the beginning, I'm so lucky I'm able to do this. Pretty much I'm full time producing now.
I love it,
which is so awesome. I've been working on that since the band stopped touring, so I've been just grinding in audio world for 5+ years now.
Well, plug it, dude. I mean, we're slowly reaching the end of the pod here. I mean, is there a website they can reach you at? IG maybe is the best thing.
I just launched a website. It's nickmillermusic.com.
And that's
anything audio related, whatever it is, hit me up.
I love it.
I'm your dude. But I'm just been super lucky, and with the way the times are right now, I think it, like Joey was saying, it's a good time to be creative. I think that's kind of what sparked us starting to, cooking up ideas for new projects, and writing a ton of music. So
that's a killer.
It gives you that fire that like you had as a kid when you put out a song and you're like, fuck, this is so sick. I want to show my friends.
Yeah.
When it was like towards the end of Skylit stuff, it was like, we have to go record a record to be on Warped Tour. So let's sit in this room for 3 weeks. And granted, it was still a lot of fun. I loved doing it, but it wasn't just like the natural, like, hey, Nick, check out this riff I'm writing. Let's build a song. And then once it's done, we're like, holy shit, this is fucking sick. Like, it just gives you that like new fucking like fire butterfly feeling again when you get excited about music,
Mm-hmm.
And like Nick said, it's all about having fun and not having this like convoluted fucking, how much money are we making? What are we going to do? When it's kind of on the side, it's like, it's just way more manageable mentally to have fun with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Passion, baby.
Yeah. And we started hanging out writing music when we were 15 for that exact reason. Now we're in our 30s, like doing it for the same reason.
I love that though.
It's
I
never
love that
changed.
though, man. That's
gone full circle. Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's actually a really good song name you said earlier too, Nick, or something. It's a good time to be creative, and I think a lot of people can heed something from that, and fucking make the best of it. Do it because you love it. Don't fucking let it soak you up and become a fucking job or a task or this. You always got to mix a little bit of business with pleasure, but I always like it to lean heavy on the pleasure side rather than the fucking business side.
Yeah, dude, you're into video games. You can't get off that shit. Fucking start streaming, dude. Make some money. There's so many people doing that now, like finding like new avenues to make money being at home. It's cool.
I thought you were calling me out. I was like, motherfucker.
You get what?
OnlyFans. Do that.
One thing I could think, like you were saying, like being a musician, like for all the years we were and being in the band, thinking back, you're young once, and we learned so much. That was like our time to learn our life lessons, I guess. So looking back, I did love every second of it, but there was times that were so hard. There was like high highs, low lows, for sure. Mm-hmm. But you got to do it because you love it. I think if you do it because you love it, good stuff will happen.
And now I know like on the like business end of it also, like you said, like you take your lumps when you're fucking coming up in music. People obviously take advantage of you and do things, or things don't work out the way you want. But now that we're older, that's like a peace of mind now, that if I know I'm getting into it, I know exactly what to look for and what I'm doing.
Yeah. And you got to learn. You're going to learn one way or the other,
Yep.
You either wax on or you wax off, baby.
Dude, a lot of waxing off.
Cobra Kai.
I like waxing off, dude.
All right. Well, all right, fellas. It's been an absolute pleasure having you guys on. We've been loving it. We're going to do this again for sure. This was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Fuck yeah! Once me and Nick put out some music, let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
We'll fucking drop a
yeah.
song on
for
here.
sure. Down
Oh,
for sure.
I like that. I like that. Speaking the language.
Right. Well, cool. Well, appreciate you guys. Anything you guys want to plug before we take off? Throw it out there again. Throw the websites out there again.
NickMillerMusic.com. Hit me up.
We'll put that.
Anything audio.
Yeah, and we'll put that in the
Yeah,
bio
Nick
for
rules.
sure.
So if you do heavy shit, hit up Nick. It's shit slaps.
And I would plug Joey's Instagram handle, but I feel like YouTube or somebody will fuck our AdSense off if I do say it.
Why?
Nah, it won't. It's my personal one.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think you could.
at-
It's just at Joseph Stalin, which I actually, when I made that, I said, Nick, how do you spell Stalin? While I was making it, I couldn't spell it. Horrible spell it.
I love it. Well,
But now my girlfriend hates it because when she tags me with photos of kids, it's tagged Joseph Stalin on everything.
People are like, "Damn,
She's like,
Des, are you
fucking change it?" I'm like,
communist?
never.
Yeah, well, that's me. That's
I remember you being so hype on that name. I was like,
Can't
yeah,
believe
that's
I
cool.
got it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who he was, bro.
hey,
Fuck
fucking love you guys though,
yeah,
man.
love you guys too. So
it. Yeah, thanks for having us on, man. This is
Thank
fun.
you, guys.
Yeah, it
Appreciate
was
Yeah.
good times. Let's do
All
it.
right.
Do we have to cut anything out of this? Are we good? No, we're clear.
now we're good.
All right, cool.
All right. Thanks, guys.
We're
See you
good,
guys
dude.
later.
You kept
Thanks.
it-